To be the best, you gotta breed to the best. And that means breeding to dogs from all over the world. So you might not be able to do a live breeding. You might need your sample shipped. And I'm gonna share with you some secrets that you're gonna need to know if you wanna have a successful breeding program. Then we're gonna fast forward a few weeks and we're gonna sonogram her and we'll see if she took. But right now, let's talk about same-day shipping. So we're on the way to the airport right now. It's about an hour drive for me. That's the other inconvenience that comes with same-day shipping. So when I get the overnighted, I get it directly to my house. If I was doing a surgical or an if I was doing a surgical or a TCI, I would get shipped directly to the clinic. Because if I'm doing an AI, I'd get it shipped directly to my house. But when you do same-day shipping, it's airport to airport. So I have to go to the airport, we gotta go to the freight cargo area. I'm gonna kind of show you what it looks like driving into a freight area, cargo area, and how easy it truly is to get overnighted freight cargo. And if you're a stud owner, this is an option you're gonna wanna have for your clients. This will be my first time going to Delta. I've picked up from other stud owners through Southwest and United Cargo, but this will be my first time through Delta. It's all very similar. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the process, so come on, check it out. All right, so we're here. Brought Malibu with me for the ride. I would have brought Tsunami, but actually I'll tell you about that in a minute. So I'm here, I'm gonna go pick up her package. What you need is called your airway bill. So I'll go in here, I'll show them the airway bill, I'll show them my driver's license that has the matching info that I already gave the stud owner. So they'll make sure all that checks out and I'll get my package and I'll be on my way. I'm not sure if the package is here yet. You're also gonna wanna give yourself about an hour after it lands to pick it up. It takes about an hour for it to get from the airport over to the cargo center typically. But today they close at 3. So it's 2:28 now. So I just gotta make sure I'm here before 3, even though I think the flight landed at 2 o'clock. So typically I would have came here an hour after, but with them closing at 3, if I'm not here by 3, I'm not gonna be able to get my package till they reopen at 4:30 in the morning. So I'm here at 2:30, I'm gonna go in, see if the package is ready. All right, so back to why I didn't bring Tsunami. I just figured it's not a smart idea because she could get car sick, and who knows, maybe that could have something to do with her taking. Do I know if that's true? I don't know. All I know is I don't feel like, say she doesn't take, and I sit here and I question that, oh man, it's because she got car sick on that drive or something like that. So you got to take all these little details into account when breeding dogs, because all we're doing is just like educated gambling. So you just got to give yourself the best chance at everything, because it almost never goes how you think it's going to go. And it's always a gamble. So I decided to leave Tsunami at home so she won't get car sick. Malibu took the ride. Looks good. All right, we want to get this around body temperature around 99 degrees. You don't want to put this in cold because it's going to shock the which will kill off a lot of the. So it's best you get the same temperature as the body to do the insemination. I want to keep this pipette as clean as I can before I insert it into Tsunami, because you don't want any bacteria going into your girl, because that's how you can get a pyometra. We're just going to take out a little bit of the. Cover this pipette back up. Nice and clean, remember? All right. We got almost 5 cc's here. So we're going to want to, what we're also going to do is we're going to spin it down into a pellet, and then we're going to pull out the pellet and just 2 cc's of prostatic fluid. And we're going to do the insemination with just 2 cc's of a more concentrated sample. All right, and now we're going to spin it at about 1700 RPMs for 2 minutes. Hey Siri, set a timer for 2 minutes.
2 minutes starting now.
All right, you see, we got our pellet. Nice size pellet, and looks very alive, very active. Gonna bring it up to temperature. We're gonna pull 2 mLs out in total, which will be the pellet, and the rest will be prostatic fluid. But before, the seed all mixed along with the prostatic fluid. So if I would have just taken 2 mLs out, I wouldn't have got all out. Now I have that condensed pellet of I'm taking all the out and just a little bit more prostatic fluid. Let that get up to body temperature. I'm gonna grab Tsunami. We're gonna do the insemination. I'm gonna have her in an inverted position. Gonna leave her there for about 15 minutes. I'll be stimulating her vulva, which will allow her to contract and squeeze and pull that in there. You can tell she's ready. See how Drago's into her? See how Drago won't leave her alone? She's definitely ready. That's another sign that she's ready, besides just doing your progesterone testing. But we're gonna do another progesterone test to see exactly where she's at, so I have more data, and like I said, so we can see if I'm gonna do another, maybe she spiked so high that I don't even need to do another insemination. Maybe she's tracking slow and I can wait till Tuesday, or maybe I need another same day shipment for tomorrow. Water isn't good for semen. So you know what? I did that funny business with the water filling up that tube. I should have used a separate one. So I'm gonna get a whole fresh AI kit, no water. It's clean, I don't gotta worry about anything. It's a couple dollars for an AI kit. Why risk a pyometra or killing your semen and messing up your breeding over a few dollars? Fresh AI kit, fresh pipette. So the pipette went in really, really easy, which is a great sign that she's wide open and she's fertile and she's ready. Hey Siri, set a 15-minute timer. Now we're going to send a little bit of air behind it and make sure we clear out the pipette. All right, it's breed and breakdown time again, and this is one of my favorite parts. I'm gonna share with you my data from my breeding. I told you I would share all my breedings with you from here on out, and I hope you realize how valuable this information is, because there's no quick route to success in breeding, because it's all about trial and error. It's all about taking in as much data as you can to make the most educated guesses as you can to get the best chance at the outcome you're looking for, because unfortunately, in dog breeding, it's not 2 + 2 = 4. It's not math. Even though it's science, it doesn't always work out as planned. So you just have to have the best understanding as possible to adapt to every situation. So I'm gonna share with you my numbers on the Tsunami breeding. If you've been following the channel, you probably realize that the pecan breeding didn't take, so that's why I'm breeding Tsunami. I was gonna skip Tsunami's litter, but when I realized pecan didn't take, I decided to start testing Tsunami, and that was on the 21st. And when I did that, she was already at an 11. If you remember from that video, you could tell I didn't really like that sample. The sample didn't look good. Then she had that trauma with the auroral hematoma in her ear. I don't know if that had something to do with it, but for whatever reason, that breeding didn't take. So here we are, breeding Tsunami. She's at an 11 on the 21st. So that means I got time to breed her. What are the numbers for when you're doing progesterone testing? It's to find ovulation, so we can plan our C-section, and it's to find the fertile range, so we can plan our insemination at peak fertilization. She was at an 11 on the 21st. I skipped a day, and I tested her again on the 23rd. On the 23rd, she was at a 13.4. So she's moving, not as fast as I thought she'd be moving, because she was at an 11 already, right? So where's that put her? In ovulation. Ovulation range is 6 to 12 on the Wanfo fine care machine. Ovulation, 6 to 12. So she's already in ovulation. And when they truly go into ovulation, the way it's supposed to work, remember I told you things don't always work out? It just doesn't go how it's supposed to all the time. They're supposed to, when they truly ovulate, pretty much be doubling their number every day after that. But it doesn't always work like that. So I expected a bigger number by the 23rd, but it's just a 13.4. She's just slowly moving. So that means she was probably in ovulation even on the 20th, right? So that means she did her ovulation then. So 23rd, she's at a 13.4, so she's just coming out of ovulation. I skipped a day, tested her again on the 25th. On the 25th, she's at a 17.2. So she's still moving really slow. Again, I expected that number to be a lot higher, but it wasn't. We just got past Thanksgiving, so this is a Friday, and now we're going into the weekend. So as we know, with overnight shipping, I'm not going to be able to get anything shipped Saturday because the mail doesn't run Sunday. I won't be able to get anything shipped Sunday because the mail doesn't run Sunday. So we're at a 17.2 on the 25th. I tested her again the next day because we're up at a higher number now. Now she's at a 19.6. So I did this test Saturday evening. So late Saturday evening, she was at a 19.6. So what I decided to do is the next day, Sunday, get semen same day shipped on that Sunday. And did the insemination on the 27th. So her number was probably low 20s, we can safely say, I think. Did she spike? Possibly. That's why I decided to do the same day shipping on Sunday, because otherwise my other option is what? Wait for Monday and do an overnight Monday to Tuesday? No way. That was going to be way too long. So I decided to do same day shipping Sunday, and then I would progesterone test her again on Sunday and see where her number's at, see if she's still stalling, and then possibly do a same day shipping on Monday, or possibly do the overnight shipping Monday for a Tuesday if she's really stalling. But I wanted to get semen here in case she spiked. So who knows, maybe she super spiked super quick and she was at a much higher number than I'm thinking, but I think she was at a low 20. As far as numbers go, she was probably in the low 20s, 21-ish, when I did that insemination. Did I do another progesterone test? I didn't. Why didn't I? Because if you watched my last video on stud search, I had an issue. I wanted to get semen again on Monday or Tuesday, but he already had previous lock-ins that he needed to get samples to. So I wasn't able to do that. So I probably should have went and got a progesterone test for data, but I didn't. So we're gonna assume she was at a 21. If you remember, when I did Hamburger Mary, she was at a 34 and Denim at a 32. I typically like to get much higher into this fertile range when I do my inseminations. She was still slightly in the fertile range, 19.6 the night before. So I think it's safe to say she did get into the fertile range, but the very, very, very low end of the fertile range. So let's find out if she's pregnant. So typically I wait till 30 days from insemination before I start doing ultrasounds. But this time, I wanted to start early. I've heard about being able to detect sacs as early as day 21. So on day 23, I started scanning Tsunami. And what do we got here? Looks like a sac to me. So there you go, she's confirmed. That's the first time I've ever seen them that early, which was pretty interesting. I continued to keep scanning her every few days, and she's definitely confirmed. She's at like day 45 now. Hamburger and Denim are due in just a few days. They're huge. Hamburger's 61-day mark is actually on Sunday, and they're not even available for emergency services, my typical clinic. So I have to have a backup for Sunday, but I'm really hoping she stalls on me, holds out till at least Monday. And then Denim's 61-day is Tuesday. In a perfect situation, I'd love for them to go on the same day, like Mary hold all the way till Tuesday and Denim go on Tuesday. But who knows what's gonna happen. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel to find out. Hit that like button if you've been learning something. So now we need to identify Tsunami's due date. And how do we do that? We gotta identify ovulation. Well, wow, ovulation was 20, 21, 22, 23, 4 days long. Which day is ovulation? Well, I like to go with the last day. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark her ovulation as the 23rd, which 61 days out from ovulation makes Tsunami's due date the 23rd of January. So it's just 2 weeks after Denim and Mary. It's gonna be a busy January for me. If you guys are interested in puppies, reach out. So you're probably wondering, how did I get Tsunami pregnant at a 21 and I was able to get Hamburger Mary Denim pregnant at 34 and 32 at much higher numbers? Well, I'm gonna explain exactly how that happened on the next episode. And while I was taping this, Malibu went into heat. So we're gonna be doing another breeding breakdown on Malibu's litter, and then we're gonna compare Denim's, Mary's, Malibu's, because Malibu I inseminated at an even different number, and Tsunami's litter. We're gonna compare 4 breeding breakdowns so you can see exactly why I was able to get Tsunami pregnant at a much lower number of the fertile range. And it wasn't by accident. And that is why you have to have a complete understanding of the reproduction process, the progesterone process. It's not just about a number. It's not as simple as just a number. So I hope this data helped you. I hope you're saving all the data from all your breedings. I hope you have a little notebook or something where you're writing down your progesterone numbers, because it's gonna help you in the future. If you don't do it now, you have no shot later. And trust me, later on, you're gonna be wishing you had recorded that data so that you can make the best decision possible at identifying that fertile range, whether it's gonna be in the low end or if it's gonna be in the high end. So see you guys next time.